Here's an example of an Infusionsoft solution that enables us to control a WordPress OptimizeMember membership site so that we can give people access using Infusionsoft and slowly auto drip content to them a week at a time. So this is Dr. Buck's weight loss reprogram. This is a WordPress site. Currently I'm logged in with the credentials of a user that has access to the entire program. So this is someone who was given access and 21 days have gone by, so they have access to all the content that's available in the system. The way this program works, and I'll show you exactly step by step how we make this happen, is we once they purchase, they get access to the home page, the Fast Start modules, Module 1, and then the bonus modules. 7 days later, we open up Module 2 and these 4 pages. 14 days after they purchase, they get Module 3 and these 2 pages. And 21 days later, they get Module 4 and these 2 pages. So it slowly rolls out this content. So how do we make this happen? Well, first of all, we have this OptimizeMember installed, and we can go to the general options. If we go to the general options, what you'll see is you define a number of membership levels. They provide a free subscriber level that we're not using. What we have is level 1, 2, 3, and 4 corresponding to the ones I described. So this content and the bonus, which is part of Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. So as soon as people purchase the product or are assigned to have access to the product, they get this membership level. 7 days later, via an Infusionsoft campaign that I'm going to review in a second, they get access to Module 2. 7 days after that, they get access to Module 3. 7 days after that, 21 days after they purchase, they get access to membership level for Module 4. So these are the levels that are defined inside of OptimizeMember, which is a part of OptimizePress, so that people get access, so we can control access to the different parts of it. So let's go over to the pages here, and what I'm going to do is we'll go to pages, and I'm going to visit the Module 1 pages. So let's see, Module 1 is here. So Module 1 and all the items in here, so the home page, the Fast Start module, and these, so all these modules are set the same way. And what we've done is if we go into the live editor that comes with OptimizePress, and you go to the membership settings, we've set the page restrictions for this page to require this Fast Start Module 1 level in order to get access. Now, in case you're tempted, there is automatic content dripping built into OptimizeMember. You can use that if you like, because we're seeing Infusionsoft as the master system. We're doing all the content release over there, so there's no need to use this content delay feature that's built into the tool. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. Now I'm going to visit the pages for Module 2. Module 2 are located on page 2 of this, so I'll go to Module 2. So Module 2 and these other pages are all set the same way. If I go over here to the live editor, I can see that these membership level has page restrictions set to Module 2. And so on. So I'll just go to one more of these pages. I'll go to the Module 3 page. And in the Module 3 page, you'll see that Module 3 is set to the member page restrictions that go with Module 3. So that's how the WordPress part of the site needs to be configured so that the pages are only seen by people who are authorized. Now the menus are taking advantage or making use of the standard Windows menuing features, WordPress menuing features. So if you go in here, you'll see that this is Home, Fast Start, Module 1. There's nothing special in here. There's no there's no special work being done in here. These modules just know to show up if their pages are visible and aren't restricted by OptimizeMember. So if the page exists, for example, it's week number 3 and we've given them access to module 3, then this menu will show up. This one will still be invisible. When people are given access initially, they only see menu for this, this, this. They don't see these 3, and they see bonus because the bonus belongs to the module 1 level access. So how does this magic happen? Well, we go over here to a campaign that we've created for this purpose. This campaign will kick off as soon as people either purchase the product or an administrator uses a tag to assign access to the product to a member in the Infusionsoft database. Both of these are sent to both of these sequences. I've separated them out just to keep things, I want to say, as clean as possible. The messages can be modified by someone who doesn't really need to have access to this one here. So I think by keeping them separated, we just kind of keep people from getting in trouble by messing around with some of these control sequences that they don't need to have access to. So the way this is set up is actually pretty straightforward. Day 1, people get tagged, and this tag is just so that within the Infusionsoft system you know who's been given access to what. So, again, this is a very simple Dr. Buck's program course level 1, but this tag is not used for anything other than just for tagging purposes in Infusionsoft. Then there's an HTTP post, I'll go into this in a moment, where we're given access to level 1, and if I move this out of the way, you'll see that there's an HTTP, this is for module 2, an HTTP post to module 3, and an HTTP post to module 4. These are steps where Infusionsoft calls out to WordPress, and it tells the OptimizeMember plugin to give access to a certain level. So if I go in here and I double click, what you'll see is we have the this is the URL of the website, and this is the special command that you have to use in order to call out to the plugin. This is the command. It's op create user. There's an API key on the WordPress site that enables you to call in, and I'll show you in a second how you find that. You define the first and the last name. I created the login that people will use to log into the site to be the first name period or dot last name. We have to include the email address, and then this is the OptimizeMember level number 1. These correspond with the levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I just showed you. And then we want to make sure that we have a notification because when they purchase the product or when they're given access to the product, we want the system to send them an email. So let me go back over here to the OptimizePress section. So if you go here to API scripting and you go down to the Pro API remote, you'll come up and you'll see the API key, and this is what needs to go into this section of the site so that people can so that the WordPress site can recognize that the Infusionsoft application that's sending it instructions is authorized to do what it's doing. So that's where that's located. How are the emails or the welcome email defined that sends the credentials to the person that just got the course? Well, you go over to the general options, and this is right underneath where we were earlier. We just defined these membership levels. If I go here to the email configuration, this is where this email is defined. You could come up and take the default WordPress ones, but it's super plain. You don't want to use that one. If I go in here and click this customize feature, you'll see that I say welcome to Dr. Buck's weight loss reprogram. So it's a welcome message. It's not just a raw email with credentials built into it. We give them a dear first name, welcome to the program, yada yada. Let's get you started. Below are the credentials you can use. So what I've included here is the member site login. This is going to be drbucksreprogram.com/admin, which is the default WordPress admin. We've set it up so that it's actually prettier than the default, and it's customized with a logo of Dr. Buck's program. This is where people can enter their login credential, and that's how they get access to the program. I'm going to go down in here and just show you that there's also a message that you can send to an administrator, so that the administrator just gets notified every time someone signs up, and it just gives them some simple information about themselves. So so with that, we'll just take a real quick look at these other ones. So this is the Fast Start. This is the one that creates the user's account in WordPress, and it also assigns them access to the first one. The second one is similar. It still uses the create user. Everything else is here in the same. I don't have to add as many parameters, but I do have to give it level 2, which means they now have access to module 2, and then I have to specify this modify if login exists. It's not too happy if you try to create the user with the same email address twice, but if you specify this, it recognizes this create user as an update command, and it updates it so they have access to level 2. I'll go over here. Module 3 is exactly the same, except that it uses level 3, and then module 4 is over here, and this one has access to number 4. So as you can see, getting Infusionsoft configured to work with WordPress and OptimizeMember is pretty straightforward. It's a great solution for building simple membership sites for either releasing all the content at once, or for releasing the content out in an auto drip fashion over a period of time. Hope this helps.